Hello, my lovelies. So good to see you. Welcome back to another weekly pick a card reading. Today's topic was recommended several months back by one of our subscribers. It is all about your soul tribe. Where are they? Who are they? What can you do to get closer to them? So that's what we're going to cover in today's topic. Timestamps for everything will be down below, as always. And you'll notice on the card toppers, there are just some words. Okay, you can choose your pile based on just whichever pile you feel gravitated towards, or you can actually read the words on the pile and choose it based on this question. Okay, I want you to ask yourself this: what am I missing in my life that I am looking for this soul tribe to provide me with? What feels lacking in me? And that's why I'm craving this connection. That's why I'm seeking these people out. I'm hoping to find blank through them, and use the words as a guide. Okay, so you can do it one of two ways. I will leave you guys to it and meet you at your piles. Love you. Hey, Pile One, welcome to your reading. I can't wait to take a look into where your soul tribe is, what Spirit wants you to know about this group of people, and how you can get closer to connecting with them in this lifetime. So let's take a roll of the die first, and then we'll take a look at the card toppers you all gravitated towards and get into the rest of the reading. Okay, so we have the North Node in Leo in the 11th house. I love that the 11th house came up because in astrology, it signifies our friendship groups. So, like the larger communities and groups of friendships that we are a part of. So, this tells me that your soul tribe is probably quite large, okay? It really signifies like an actual community, and it could be through some sort of hobby that you're really passionate about, even through work, what you choose to do for a living that brings you into contact with this group of people. Or if it is just simply a friendship group, this would be a large group, like a group that you create through college. That's kind of a big organization where you can meet lots of people, or through your day-to-day work. Or yeah, I'm not getting any. I'm not getting like relatives. Okay, for some people, their soul tribe has to do with the group of people they incarnated with, so their family. But with the 11th house coming up, it's giving me more of yeah, like non-relation. Okay, true like friendships. But I also am not getting from this that there's necessarily like a really personal, intimate connection with all of these people. It's more like you guys are working as a group, and that's what brings you in common. Okay, working as a group towards something bigger that's going on. Like it's a lot of not acquaintances, but like looser friendships, lighthearted friendships with activities and things to do each day. You know, kind of like teammates in a sense. The 11th house can also signify things that go on online, larger online communities. So for some of you, you're going to enter into a community, a group of people, maybe like our group here, and then create a more personal connection through that group. Maybe there's a few that you talk to more often. Maybe there's a few people that you meet online through a shared community that you end up getting numbers from, writing emails back and forth, and then eventually flying out to meet one another, you know, things like that. Now, Leo is all about the inner child. It's also about where we shine, our entertainment. For some of you, you're meant to create your own online community, create the group that you're looking for, make that Facebook group or that TikTok account that's focused on a certain thing, or that YouTube channel. For others of you, the connector is going to be through your own children. So it's like the connections, the friendships that your children make lead you towards a group of parents, moms or dads. Now you guys kind of become friends, but it's through the kids, right? So that could be kind of two of the avenues that it's meant to go down. But Leo is definitely about happiness, joy, laughter, yeah, like getting a lot of attention. It's also about affection. So this is supposed to be something that feels, it's a tribe that feels playful, loving, generous, like a lot of happiness here, okay? For other soul tribes, it could be something that's more like complex and deep, and like I share my deepest, darkest secrets and that sort of thing. For you guys, it's supposed to be more of, no, this is my tribe, and this is where I go to add joy to my life, to add fun and humor to my life. Okay, that's supposed to be kind of the essence of your soul tribe. Now, with the North Node coming up here, North Node signifies things that are really out of our comfort zone, things we haven't experienced in previous lifetimes, or that maybe don't come quite naturally to us, but we push ourselves to do. Because when we're not pushing ourselves to do it, there's a lack of fulfillment within us, okay? So that's telling me that you are going to have to kind of push outside of your normal boundaries of what you feel comfortable in order to create this soul tribe for yourself, or to find it, okay? It's not going to be in an area that you've sought out before, if that makes sense. Now, the card toppers you all gravitated towards were focus and truth. So if you chose your pile based on, trying to determine what it is you're lacking in your life that you feel like this community, this soul tribe of yours, could help provide you with, focus and truth is what you are looking for internally through this group. You're looking for your soul tribe is going to be a group of people that really does help you focus on what you're passionate about, uplift you, right? And also even bring you like needed critiques. These are supposed to be people that you go to for advice, people that help inspire and motivate you by, okay, not by criticizing you. I don't want you to think of the word critique in that way, but by uplifting you. Oh my gosh, you're really amazing at that. You need to go do it. Like, do you want some help? I can be support. I can come. I'll bring you, but you've got to do this. You're just so amazing at this, that, or the other. Or that whenever you come to them and say, okay, look, this is what I did. What do you think? Be honest. And they'll be able to say like, oh, I thought this was great. You know what? You could tweak this or you could do that. But it's all done in a really positive way, okay? Lots of positive vibes from your soul tribe. So again, I do feel like this is a group of people, they're like peers, okay, in a sense. Your soul tribe is passionate about the same things you are passionate about. Some soul tribes, friendship groups, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. You see lots of cases where opposites kind of attract, right? Two people from different backgrounds and different lines of work, that's what they gravitate towards, is their opposite. But in your case, your soul tribe really does have to be a community that shares a particular passion with you, that even has maybe expertise in it, experience in it as well. And so that's why you kind of look to them for their feedback, for their, you want their opinion, right? So yeah, let's look at the Uncover Your Calling card, and then we'll get into the tarot. Okay, so the social card that came out for you is Instructing People. All right, so then, yeah, that again is telling me this is a soul tribe where, for example, it's either you're creating it, you create a channel, a blog, something where you're giving instruction to others, it creates a shared community, other people come in. But it's like if you did that, let's say you create a YouTube channel, it's like your subscribers are going to be people that you also respect, that you're like, oh yeah, they get me, I get them. These are intelligent people. These are people I really vibe with, people I really click with. And you're even learning a little bit from them through their comments, through their feedback, okay? But it seems like it starts out where you have this passion and this desire to help teach people something, to help them learn something, but in the process, you create this kind of warm little family. Does that make sense? Now, I did mention children for some of you, like connecting to others through your own kids. For some of you, this could be like your tribe of people could be slightly younger than you, where you kind of are almost the wise aunt of the group, or the wise uncle of the group that's kind of guiding them along. So not like a parental type of role, or the older cousin, that sort of role that you take on. I definitely feel with, Leo's also about leadership. So that's telling me that your soul tribe doesn't exist yet, okay? This is something that you have to go out and create. You have to go out and start putting in the energy and kind of manifesting this and bringing it all together. Once you take that initial step, it's like then the tribe is able to find you and bring this all together. So you've got to be the one to take action and create something. For some of you, it's like you may know a few of these people like at a distance. Let's say like you've got a few coworkers that you really vibe with, right? It's going to be you that takes the step towards, hey, why don't we start going out on Friday evenings after work? Or why don't we all let's sign up for a soccer league, an adult soccer team, and let's play together. Like you're the one that's going to have to facilitate that, okay? And kind of keep the group glued together, at least at the start of it, before the relationships really form. Okay, let's look at the tarot. Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. We have the 8 of Cups. We have, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 9 of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. Okay, this is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, so I definitely see here with the 7 and 8 of Cups that I feel like you've got to actually make some room in your life for your soul tribe. It feels like there's some other relationships in your life that you're still engaging with that take up the time and the energy that you need in order to go out and find your true people. It's almost like I feel like you've settled in a sense. Either that or you're just investing too much time into these other people and there's just not time left over for you to go off and do your own thing and find your people. Okay, so some things definitely need to be released because I can also see here in the 7 of Cups, it's like you're closing yourself off to the possibilities, kind of like what the North Node talked about. There's some options and possibilities for you that you haven't even considered because maybe it's an unconventional way to find friends. Maybe it's an unconventional passion, life purpose, job endeavor that you're wanting to go into, or maybe you haven't even realized that that's what you need to go into. It's, something unconventional. You're not able to really imagine and get excited about and see the possibilities out there for you in terms of friendships and people. So it's a mix of, I think what first needs to happen is you need to rebalance out your life so that there is time in your day to put towards creating this soul tribe, finding your people, right? Because yeah, your imagination seems a little bit stuck. And I can even see here in the 9 of Wands that there is, I feel like there's a lack of control over your life right now. Leo, which came up in the die, it's all about leadership, like you being the leader. But it feels like you've taken a default or backseat sort of role in your life. You've allowed that to happen in a sense. And so there's kind of other people kind of delegating things for you or feeling like you owe them things. You feel obligated, okay? And it's like you're not taking a leadership role in your life. It's kind of like you're just sitting and waiting for life to tell you what to do and you'll go and do it. You've got to carve this out for yourself. And I see here in the Knight of Cups that you are really craving, there's a lack of emotional fulfillment in your life, okay? I can see that with all 3 of these cards with the cups on them. There is a lack of that. I don't know if you're blind to it. Maybe you are feeling it on some level. You don't feel emotionally fulfilled. I don't necessarily feel that you're alone. I feel that you are around people and things and, family or whatever, but the fulfillment's not there. The water in these cups kind of feels old. That's the best way to put it. It feels old. It feels a bit stale, maybe a bit dirty. And it's time for you to kind of empty out these cups so that you can refill them with new possibilities, new options, new endeavors. And I see here in the Knight of Cups, notice this woman is handing the Knight a cup. You are the Knight, okay, in this card. And you've got someone coming to you to offer. So I feel like, but the Knight had to go out. He had to get on the horse and get out into the world, start seeking, right, taking action in order to even encounter this woman. So it's like you're gonna have to go out and do it, okay? This isn't a soul tribe that's already been created or well established. It's like your energy, your leadership is really necessary to facilitate this, okay? So you got to cleanse some things from your life. Let's take a look at the other oracle cards here. Okay, we have Pisces. It says the Mystic. It says imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, spiritual, emotional, Yeah. Okay. So the Pisces, the mystic, that kind of sounds like my line of work, right? Tarot, astrology. Let's see. People with like Pisces midheavens, for example, they can be in all sorts of healing work. Ooh, we've got Leo here too. Entertainment also falls in with these two energies combined. That feels like your energy. That's like that energy, that Pisces Leo energy is where you're going to find or create this tribe. Okay, so it's got to be in this sort of imaginative, mystical, fun loving, creative sort of field or area of life. Okay, that's what it's got to be about for you. And this could be, I feel like for a lot of you, it's like once you choose to go into the line of work you're really passionate about, which feels like something where you're in charge of what you're doing, like an entrepreneurial type of thing, but it doesn't have to be, but definitely something where it's like you're leading the way. That's what's going to open the door for you to, find your soul tribe. Okay, we have the Your Path card. It says, Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. It lines up with this card here. This man's covering his eyes. He doesn't want to see the possibilities before him. He doesn't want to imagine what could be there. He's scared. He's worried. That's an unknown. Typically, the Seven of Cups in a traditional tarot deck shows a man looking up at the cups, and the cups are filled with all sorts of magical, interesting, creative things. And this card depicts his imagination, all the options he's dreaming up, and like which cup am I going to choose? Who knows? But here you see that it's like he's got the eyes covered. He hasn't yet been able to even imagine the possibilities. And it could be out of, like this card says, a fear, a worry. Like that's too out there, that's too unknown. I just want to stick to what I know. Okay. So Spirit's talking to you here about kind of allowing yourself to unfold. There is so much more for you, like so much more that you're supposed to be and become that you're kind of clinging on to. It's kind of like a flower. You're kind of like a flower that doesn't want to bloom. Like, no, let me just stay closed up like this. I don't know what happens after we bloom, so I don't want to. I know that I'm safe here, so let me just stay. And Spirit's like, no, it's time for you to open up, to fully bloom and allow yourself to interact with all the options and possibilities in the world around you, including the people, right? Okay, let's look at my affirmations card. It says, it's got a woman who's like transformed into a butterfly. It says, I'm a catch. I'm a total catch, and I know all the reasons why. I know that anyone would be lucky to be with me, and that doesn't mean I'm arrogant or snobby. Self-respect is just one of many qualities exhibited by this complete and utter babe. Yeah, that's putting yourself out there, right? You've got to be confident to do that. You have to be pretty sure of yourself. You've got to know that you have something to offer. And the woman being depicted as a butterfly, I think is really perfect for you all because I do feel like there is a transformation that's meant to take place, like the blooming of the flower. There are interests, there are talents, there's a life purpose you haven't yet discovered or tapped into. You got to start with kind of building that confidence in yourself, a confidence in your abilities, in who you are as a person, that you are talented, that you have things to offer, that you can lead, okay? So that you can create this community for yourself. Because it's going to be not only fun and emotionally fulfilling for you, but this community, this soul tribe has a purpose. They're working towards something together. And that's what's really going to, I think that's going to be the most fulfilling aspect for you. Okay. So tap into that confidence that you have, tap into that Leo energy, find where that is in your natal chart. What house does it rule? And then where does the sun sit? Kind of get familiar with these energies and go for it. There's something that you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and go for, a step that you need to take, an action you need to take. Put yourself out there. Okay. You are a catch. All right. People will be attracted to your energy once you put yourself out there. Don't sell yourself short. Get out of the social anxiety, okay? All right, comment below. Let me know how this reading resonated with you all. And if you're new to this channel, I would love it if you subscribed and joined our little soul tribe over here. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in next week's Pick a Card reading. Love you. Hey Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. I can't wait to see where your soul tribe is, who they are, how you can get closer to meeting them. Let's start with rolling the die, as always. Okay, we have Saturn in Gemini in the first house. So the first house is all about the self. Saturn is kind of the disciplinarian of the zodiac of astrology, okay, in general, of the planets. And it can represent like father figures, authority figures. And then Gemini is associated with the third house, which is the house of siblings. So I kind of feel like for a lot of you, you're an older sibling to a large group of younger siblings. Maybe you came into this incarnation with a lot of brothers and sisters, or adopted siblings, or even Gemini also rules like our neighborhood, okay, the neighborhood we live in, like the local community that we're a part of. So yeah, I'm feeling a familiarity with this pile. I actually thought about that as I was laying out these cards, before I even rolled the die or got into this reading. I thought, the energy from this pile feels familiar. It feels like it goes back. So for a lot of you, your soul tribe is comprised of people you are related to, cousins, siblings, or even people you went to high school with or elementary school with, people in your local community, or the local community that you're living in, like right now, if you moved whenever you graduated. But it feels like you're supposed to take on it feels like you have the authority here, okay? So like you're the older one of the group. So yeah, like younger siblings, younger cousins, or people that look up to your authority in a sense, okay? So yeah, I think I'll leave it there and we'll get into the tarot to get more details. So here were the two card toppers you guys had on your pile: courage and curiosity. And what these cards are supposed to represent is kind of what you feel you're lacking in your life currently that you think your soul tribe could help fulfill in you or provide you with. Like that's kind of why you're attracted to the idea of a soul tribe. Your soul's looking for these two things. They want a group of people to help provide them with courage, as well as curiosity for life or learning new things. Curiosity is a word I associate strongly with the sign of Gemini, which came up in the die. What I love about Gemini people is that they do maintain a really good open-minded outlook on life. You know, life is so much fun as a child, right? Because everything's so unknown. We're so curious about things. We haven't made a definitive decision on this is how things are and this is the truth of that and that's what that is. Children are very open, they're malleable, and they're always like, what do you think about this? What does that look like? How does this work, right? So that's a great thing about, for you, that's going to be a positive thing with your soul tribe. They keep you curious for life, because I feel that you have a lot of Saturn energy within you. Maybe you've got a lot of Capricorn or even Aquarius in your chart. So what you're really needing from a soul tribe is to revitalize, refresh your outlook on life. Keep that lighthearted curiosity for life. And I think that's why your soul tribe is comprised of people who are a bit younger than you, or if not younger than you, it's a group of people that comes from, has a different outlook on things, has a perspective that's different than yours. And that's why you appreciate having them in your life, because you feel like the type of person that can get really stuck in, this is just the way things are. Life is dull. I already know everything I need to know about life. Like, what's new to learn? You know, kind of a blah sort of mindset. That's kind of a tendency, a road you may go down accidentally or unconsciously. And things around you can feel very colorless, very gray, very disciplined, very restrictive. You put that on yourself because you seem like someone who really values responsibility, practicality, diligence, okay? And so that's what you're going to be getting from this soul tribe is, I need someone that just reminds me that life is just a game that we're all in, or life is too short to take too seriously. You know, you need a group of people that can help, you know, provide that breath of fresh air within you to not take everything so seriously, right? But we also have courage here as well. And I also think that this open-mindedness, your group of people feels very Gemini, okay? You may have a lot of Gemini friends in your life, or maybe growing up you always gravitated towards Gemini risings, Gemini suns, okay? The courage thing comes in with that open-minded perspective as well. Because when we are too focused on, well, these are the facts, and this is how to be the most practical. This is the conservative, the traditional way to do things, to think about things. Um, we don't want to take risks when we're in that sort of mindset, right? Anything risky sounds like, no, we don't want to take risk. We want to find the tried and true way to do things. But your soul tribe gives you like this sense of courage to go ahead and take that risk, to go ahead and try that, right? And you need that in you. You feel like kind of walled up at the moment. I'm going to be honest. And I don't know if you've always been that way, or maybe you're going through something currently. Okay. I want you to know that I really empathize with you. I sympathize with you because I can feel it in this reading. Kind of like the walls are kind of closing in. Things look a little bit dark. And I wish I could reach out and give you a hug right now. Honestly, I can feel that a lot of you are hurting. You know, I'm not seeing color. Everything's very gray. Okay. So just know that I see that. I'm feeling that for you. And things aren't going to be that way forever. Okay. I can feel that there's a group of people out there for you to connect with. You do have a soul tribe out there. You need that, right? Okay. Let's look at one other card on this side and then we'll get into the tarot. Okay. So we have the giving care card. Beautiful. So that's going to be kind of the biggest purpose that this soul tribe for you serves. This idea of giving care, giving comfort. I think you really need that more than you admit to. It's something that you kind of keep secret, that deep down you do just want to feel cared for and you want to provide care and nurturing to others. I think you come across a little bit hard on the edges, or maybe a little bit tense, or maybe people have even told you that you're intimidating. But I see that there's like this shell, and beneath that shell is just this very warm, nurturing, loving energy that's just craving to pour love into others and receive love back. So, so yeah, you're going to be that for your soul tribe. You're going to be able to give care to them and they'll be able to feed it back into you. So I do see a lot of emotional intimacy here with your soul tribe. You need that. These are going to be a group of relationships that are much more personal and intimate. And I don't necessarily see that each person in the soul tribe is connected to or knows one another. It almost feels like you've got like a good group of people kind of spread out through different areas. Maybe one is a high school friend that you've had, you know, since high school and maintained. Maybe another is a sibling that you're just especially close to. Maybe another one is, you know, a neighbor. So it almost feels like in your case, you're going to have several different, very close relationships, friendships, but they're not necessarily going to all be connected to one another. You won't necessarily be hanging out as like a group. You know, you really need, what you really need in your life are these more personal, one-on-one relationships that you can really get vulnerable with, and they can get vulnerable with you. So you got to take down those walls. It's time to get vulnerable with some people. It's time to open up about what you deal with day to day, what goes on in your mind, what are you struggling with. Okay, I really feel like you've got to communicate some things. You need to get things off your chest, right? I know you're feeling that. It's just more about this fear of who do I do that with? I don't feel comfortable doing that with anyone. And what I'm hearing from spirit is there are some platonic soulmates in your life, okay, that you're already connected to. And you just maybe it's time to give it a chance again, or to give it a chance for the first time, getting closer, not being scared so much about getting burned or what they're going to think of you. Are they going to look down on me if I open up about this? You know what I mean? I feel like you're resisting that a little bit. You're resisting the vulnerability and the intimacy that you really, really need. Your soul's craving it, okay? All right, let's look at the tarot. Okay, we have Ace of Swords and Seven of Wands. Queen of Wands, this is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Two of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles. This is about holding things a little too tightly to the chest. It feels like some of your relationships feel unfulfilled because they're kind of out of balance. Like you either feel that you're giving a lot more than what you're receiving, or maybe it's a case of you attract a lot of people who want to open up to you and tell you everything about their life and all the intimate details of it. They feel comfortable doing that with you, and they assume that you're doing the same thing with them, but in reality you're not. Like it almost feels like your relationships currently may be ones in which you kind of play therapist for other people, and the therapist doesn't talk about themselves, right? They're there to serve their client. They don't open up and get vulnerable with their client. It's, the client is the one getting vulnerable with them. Feels like you have a lot of relationships like that. And that's why you feel unfulfilled. And that's why you don't, necessarily even like the people that you're surrounded with, because that's not true intimacy. And what I'm hearing from spirit is some of these relationships that you have currently, like, yeah, maybe they aren't, maybe you guys don't actually click and you know that, but you're not willing to say it. Okay, well, those relationships need to go. It's time to kind of distance yourself. And then there's some other relationships that truly could be genuine, and you're not allowing them to be. You are, it's like you're too fearful to open up fully. You want to keep things held tight to the chest. You're worried about getting vulnerable. I also see with the Two of Pentacles that there could be, for you, it feels like your soul tribe is going to be about you balancing your time with several different individual people in your life, right? So you're going to balance that time with them. Maybe today I'm going to go have coffee at my neighbor's house, and then maybe tomorrow I'm going to drive over to my sister's house and chit chat with her. Okay, it's like separate people, but that's really what you need. Okay, because in a large group of people, you're too kind of tough on yourself, and too takes a lot to gain your trust. I'll put it that way. It's hard to gain your trust. You are guarded, you're very protective of yourself. And so you really thrive in the one-on-one type of situation, a one-on-one relationship where there's no competition, between other people to get the emotional time that you need. You really, really need that. So if you've been I feel like you may idealize the idea of having like a big group that's all together because of this fear of true intimacy that you have. That you've got to relinquish that. You've got to let it go. Start working on that within yourself, because once you let that go, it's like the meaningful relationships that are already in your life are really going to flourish, and you're finally going to feel fulfilled in those. I also see with the Queen of Wands that you're meant to kind of be the host or the hostess for these sorts of get-togethers. Invite them over to your place. Organize a little party or a day out. Like, you're kind of meant to be the one making the phone calls and saying, hey, why don't we do this? Hey, let's go do that. Not the other way around. So if your relationships have been operating from the opposite thing, like I just sit and wait for someone to reach out to me and ask if they want coffee, and then half the time it's people that I don't even really want to hang out with, but okay, I'll go. Like, you're actually supposed to be the one that's like, hey, I'm doing a Christmas party at my house. I want you to come. Or I want to do a movie night. Do you want to go? Okay, so start getting, and I think the only thing keeping you from doing that is this deep fear of rejection. What if they actually don't want to hang out with me? What if they say yes because they just feel obligated? What if we don't have a good time? Look, people enjoy your company, okay? And I know part of you is thinking, well, people don't really know the real me. So how can they know if they enjoy my company? I haven't really opened up and gotten vulnerable. It's time to do so, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the feedback that you get, with the nurturance you're finally able to receive that you're craving so badly, okay? So yeah, I definitely see that for you. Lots of really intimate, maybe not lots. I feel like there's like 5, okay? 5 people, a part of your soul tribe, each from kind of a different area of life. But these relationships are supposed to be like ride or die, deep, intimate, very personal. People that you can cry with. Not just them crying to you about their life, but you doing the same, getting vulnerable. Okay, let's look at the other section here of cards. All right, we have Taurus. It says earthy, practical. This is so you, right? Steadfast, productive, tactile, pleasure-seeking, sensuous, solid, possessive, loyal, patient, and deliberate. Taurus is extremely committed, and it's also a very affectionate and loving sign because it's ruled by Venus. And these are the types of relationships that you need. This is the type of person that you are. Yes, you're Saturnian, right? Which is very practical and no nonsense and non-emotional, but you've also got this earthy Taurus aspect to you that wants to give love, give care, receive love and care. And that's what these friendships are going to serve for you. And like I keep saying, for most of you, I feel like at least 3 out of these 5 members of your soul tribe are already with you. And Spirit's wanting to help you take these relationships to a deeper, more profound level, okay? Okay, we have the Independence card It's got the little sun and moon talking to one another. I embrace total independence and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. I love that because I do feel like you guys are very like you're naturally this very Saturnian independent sort of person. But I definitely feel that you've had your heart broken in relationships before. It's like the few times in your life where you've really gotten intimate and vulnerable, it almost becomes codependent. And I'm also tapping into romantic relationships. It becomes very codependent and very fast because deep down you are really hurting inside and you haven't been able to really repair that yet. So that unresolved pain and those scars and those wounds, it's like you close off everything of yourself. And then once you decide, okay, I trust this person, I need this person, it's like the floodgates open. You give everything to them. You let go of all sense of power and control. And then you've been burned really bad. I definitely see some deep, close friendships you have had in the past that have been completely destroyed, or you had to let them go, or the person hurt you, and same with romantically. So Spirit's wanting you to find this nice balance. It is good to be independent while maintaining your relationships. You can do both. It doesn't have to go down the route of codependency, which may be a fear for you. This may be like, I don't trust myself, I don't think, to maintain that balance. But you can. It's all about getting healthy, getting in touch with those emotions, getting vulnerable in little steps, okay? It feels like once you decide that you're ready to commit to someone, it's like you go all the way, right? And that's where it becomes unbalanced for you. Okay, we have the right action card. It says aparigraha literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. You've been holding on, right? That's what I touched on in this card. There's a lot you're holding tight to the chest, a lot of grieving that hasn't been done yet, a lot of just emotions in general that you're not allowing out, okay? And what that card is saying basically is it's not until you let those things go that new energy can come in and fill you up. So that's really what's waiting for you. It's just this inner work. Really, I promise you, you're going to see that once you focus on healing your wounds, taking little bitty steps to try and get a little bit more vulnerable, I'm going to open up here, I'm going to get intimate here, a lot of the relationships you have currently in your life are going to suddenly feel deeply fulfilling. But I do feel that I think there's 2 new relationships meant to come in. Okay, so you've got a soul tribe of 5 people, all from kind of different areas of life. And I feel that 3 of them are already with you, already in your life. And it's time to just build down into that foundation of the relationship. Make it a little bit more balanced, not so one-sided or distant. Okay, expose yourself. Open up about your flaws, your struggles, your pains. You're going to see it's going to completely transform everything. Give those hugs a little more. I feel like you may resist to just kind of embracing the people that you love, or letting them know that you miss them, or putting yourself out there to say, hey, I'd like it if we did something. Okay, it's these little steps. All right. So you can do this. You guys are totally different from the last pile, completely different. Go and listen. If you have doubts about anything I'm saying here, I encourage you to go listen to some of the other piles just to see how much it contrasts with your story and what you need, okay? What I'm saying isn't going to apply to everyone. This is your group, okay? Because I feel like you guys are my skeptics, I feel, because you're just so damn practical. But I really like that about you guys, okay? You deserve that emotional peace and intimacy. You deserve it. You deserve it. Get over the fears, okay? You can push past those fears to do what you need to do. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys here. I want to thank you so much for coming. I enjoyed getting into this reading with you. Just imagine I'm there giving you like a good, tight hug. Feel like you need it. And I look forward to seeing you in next week's reading. Love you. Hey Group 3, welcome to your reading. I'm looking forward to seeing who your soul tribe is, where they are, how you can get closer to them. So far, the first 2 piles, completely different, opposite, like totally opposite messages. So it makes me curious about yours and where Spirit's going to lead us through this. But let's start with taking a roll of the die, as always. Okay, we've got Venus in Virgo in the 7th house. Interesting. This may be random, and I don't think this applies to everyone, but I just got a message from some of you that you actually have a couple of one or two exes that are a part of your soul tribe, as in they're going to, or they're meant to transform into friendships. Okay, like a deep friendship. For one of you out there, there was an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend that they're gosh, how do I word this? Like you may have discovered through the relationship, or once it ended, the reason it ended was because they hadn't yet come to terms with their true sexuality. So it wasn't necessarily that the relationship was bad or that there was fighting going on. It was that they were hiding a part of themselves that they discovered maybe somewhere in the relationship. So that's actually supposed to transform into a friendship. I know this is so specific and so random. For a couple others of you, there is an ex from the past that maybe same thing. Maybe it didn't really end on bad terms. Maybe it was during a time in your life where you were much younger, but there was always this kind of, or maybe there just wasn't like the chemistry, it was always just kind of this friendship thing. And that's because, they're supposed to be a part of your soul tribe, someone you're connected to, and platonically in a sense. Okay. So the 7th house actually rules our one-on-one relationships, our business partnerships, our marriages. For some of you, your soul tribe is going to be kind of through other married couples. Once you get married, you kind of have a group of like different couples that you and your partner enjoy interacting with, hanging out with, making memories with. For others of you, your soul tribe is meant to be like in this one-on-one sort of basis. Like I've got this best friend here and then this best friend here, or this relationship here, but kind of like a separate sort of thing. And then for some of you, your soul tribe is actually of the opposite sex to you. So like your soul kind of gravitates towards platonic relationships with the opposite sex. That's just kind of where you fit in a little bit better. With the Venus coming up, I kind of feel for a lot of you, I'm getting, like a female or feminine sort of vibe. Virgo is all about kind of like acts of service, favors, day-to-day responsibilities, the body, health. Okay, so some of you, your soul tribe, you're going to meet kind of at the gym, or you're going to have like a partner that you go to the gym with and work out and get in shape with. And for others of you, your soul tribe is a group of people that seems to be connected through this idea of kind of helping each other's day-to-day responsibilities feel a little less draining or overwhelming. You're returning a lot of favors for one another, or you're interacting more together during the day-to-day things. Like, hey, I've got to go to the grocery store. Want to come with me? Because some of you feel like pretty busy, like you don't have a lot of time left in your day to just like go out with friends or have a movie night with friends. And that's been what's kind of blocking you from like, I feel so lonely. I don't have time for friends, but I want friends. I want my soul tribe. And so Spirit's saying like, you've got to just transform the way that you do it. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to just like go out and be with friends, but you can incorporate them into your day to day. Call up your friend when you're going to the gym, have them join you. Call up your friend when you're going to the grocery store or going to run your errands. You guys can do them together. And then it takes out that lonely aspect and you're incorporating them into your day to day. Okay. So just another that's a really unique idea actually from Spirit. I've never thought about doing that, but it makes a lot of sense, especially for those of us that have a job that takes a lot of our time or have kids. We know how that can take out a lot of our time as well. So there's little ways that you can just bring them into your day-to-day life. All right. That doesn't take away from the friendship. It could add to it, it can feel like a little partner, a little buddy, as you're getting things done. Okay. Let's look at the toppers you all gravitated towards. So we have support, spontaneity, and flexibility. So these cards are supposed to represent what you feel you're lacking in your life. And that's why you kind of desire to connect with your soul tribe. You feel like your soul at least feels like these are the things that your soul tribe can offer to you. So we have support, flexibility, and spontaneity. The support, I'm getting a lot of strong messages from this group. For some of you, there is the support aspect has to do with health. Okay, maybe that's why gym keeps coming up a lot. Some of you are meant to meet, are going to meet your soul tribe. Yeah, through some sort of overcoming some sort of health experience. Maybe you guys both have a similar sort of health issue. And so you support one another through that. I know that's another random message, but support in general. Favors, like what I was talking about. Flexibility and spontaneity. that incorporates kind of what I already touched upon as well. Like if you're headed out to go run an errand, just call that friend up, see if they want to join you, or even see if there's something you can pick up for them. I feel like that's kind of what your soul tribe's going to do. Like, hey, I'm headed to the pharmacy because I need to pick up X, Y, or Z. Do you want me to, grab anything for you while I'm out? Is there anything that you need? So then it kind of makes their load a little bit lighter, right? Because now they don't have to run out and do that. And then it makes yours a little bit lighter as well. So I definitely feel that your soul tribe is going to be involved with people who are nearby to you, close by to you, in your day-to-day life and community. All right. So these are friendships with physical contact. Like there was another group where it talked more about friendships through like online, online could be a possibility. You can definitely make friends online, but your true soul tribe, this is a true tribe, right? When we think of a tribe, like even the term that this came from, soul tribe. A tribe is a really small knit community where everyone's connected, doing favors for one another, helping one another out, right? The men go out to hunt, and if we're talking about actual tribe, the men go out to hunt, the women stay behind and care for the children. A lot of times there's one woman that may be caring for multiple children at a time so that some of the other women can go and harvest some of the food, find berries, make clothes, right? So it's like everyone's very much like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of thing. And they help, build their tribe together. That's exactly what you're craving and what you're needing. For some of you, you are meant to actually move into some sort of interesting, unique community that stands out for something and is close knit, like maybe an off-grid sort of community, or like a special sort of housing community where there's like this unique setup in terms of housing and everyone's really close, or even like homeschooling. If you're for those of you that have kids and have considered like homeschooling or getting involved in the homeschooling community, something like that. Okay, let's look at the Uncover Your Calling card. Okay, we have the Resolving Disputes card. So this kind of card is supposed to represent how you service this community. What's your role in your soul tribe? What are you really, really good at helping others with? And we have the Resolving Disputes. So again, I'm just seeing you seem very Virgo, like your energy feels very Virgo. Like let me take a look at this. Let me look through this for you. Oh, okay, yeah, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be corrected. Let me help out with this. So you kind of help organize the chaos in people's lives. I even feel that you have a lot of, what's so great about you is you come up with a lot of ideas kind of on the fly. Yeah. You're capable of being like, hey, I was passing by, this store and I saw that they had this in there. And I remember that conversation you had where you were needing this, or this might work. Or you're a really good creative problem solver. And that's where your soul really feels fulfilled, is when you're kind of solving problems for people, coming up with ideas, creative ways for them to overcome obstacles, mend their relationships, or do things in a different way. And that's what you and your soul tribe are going to provide for one another. But again, they do feel close knit. And they need to, if you live in a place, for example, that doesn't allow for what I'm talking about, then this reading could be a sign that it's time to move. It's time to look into those kind of off-grid communities, or that certain town you've always been drawn to create this for yourself. You need people that you're kind of seeing day to day. This feels small town, okay? I feel like your soul tribe is in a small town, a small community, the type of community where you know the names of the librarians, or the people that work in the gas stations, or the people in the local shops. That's really what your soul craves and needs, a true small-knit community that it can connect with. Okay, let's look at the tarot. All right, we have the Devil. This is Capricorn energy. Then we have the Moon. This is Pisces energy. We have the Ten of Swords and the Two of Wands. So I can see actually in all of these cards that a move is needed. Movement is needed. I feel an actual move. And I think there's you've had a dream maybe about doing this, but then part of you says, no, I can't because my job's here, or this is here, or the cost of all of that, the risk of it. But Spirit's really urging you, it's time, that you need to move. And I don't like being real general, especially for a reading like this where there's multiple people watching. And of course, it's going to be a little bit different for each and every one of you, but I'm almost feeling pretty confidently that for all of you that are here watching and picked this pile, you need to move locations. There is a different town out there for you. There's a different city. a different neighborhood, yeah, where your soul tribe is located. And I feel like what's keeping you trapped is either a really toxic relationship, but for most of you, it feels like it's the money aspect, the job aspect. Maybe for example, like, maybe some of you are living in New York City and that's where the big bucks are, and that's where your job is really focused and centered, and you make good money, right? But there is a part of your soul that's really craving to leave all of that behind. It's feeling drained by that, and the only reason you're staying is because of the financial situation, the money that's involved. But with this card coming up to represent that, Spirit's saying it's not healthy. It's time to leave. It's time to go towards, like, I'm just seeing, I don't know, like, this whole like small town with the little old buildings and everyone waving when you walk by, and a lot of interaction with people, a lot of chit chat with others, a lot of natural like plants, flowers, trees. Okay, so for those of you who are stuck in some sort of city life with a lot of pavement and a lot of no one knows anyone because the population's so big, that's really not where you're going to find your soul tribe. And Spirit's wanting you to take a journey, to dive deep into your subconscious, to figure out what it is you're craving, how you can become emotionally fulfilled, and where that's at. There's a specific location for each one of you. And I do see that it's going to feel scary, a little bit unknown, a little bit like I have no clue what I'm doing, where I'm, like, why I feel drawn to go here and do this. But it's got to be guided by your intuition. That's what the moon card is all about. Your intuition has got to guide you through this. No amount of practicality and logical thinking necessarily is going to get you there. It's got to connect to your heart space and your intuition. You feel guided to a place for no reason. And for some of you, it's going to be like a synchronicity that comes up. A certain word pops in your head and you're like, where'd that come from? And maybe you start Googling it, and then you find that it's the name of this sort of community or this town or this state. So it's going to be through some sort of really random out there synchronicity, like something that is going to be a story to tell people. Like, how I ended up here? It's crazy. You're not going to believe it. Like, I actually had this dream and it had this and this and that, and I Googled this and that. And something like that is how it's going to happen for you. So yeah, I see that you need to get into the planning stages of this. All right. It's funny because you came here for a soul tribe reading, right? But Spirit's actually giving you like a whole, let's upend your whole entire life, and let's get your whole, everything moved. Like, this is actually a lot bigger than just your soul tribe, but your soul tribe will be here. But yeah, lots of big moves that Spirit's wanting you to make. And I do see with this card as well, I think you felt a little stabbed in the back by it's almost like you feel like the community you're in right now, the people that surround you now, yeah, like the city you're in, it's almost like you feel like people's backs are turned to you. It's like people in the place you're at currently, people don't give you the time of day. People may not give each other the time of day. Or maybe you feel a little bit out of place, like maybe you're living in a community currently that it's like where you got to hide parts of yourself to fit in, because your opinions, your desires, your likes, like, just don't fit in with the community that you're at. So you've got to kind of keep yourself guarded and hidden at all times. And Spirit's like, look, enough of that. Go to the place that really matches your vibe, your values. Take that leap of faith, or go ahead and start making plans and kind of mapping it out, how it's all going to work, how you're going to do it, when you're going to be able to do it, and talking with the people that need to be involved in that decision. Okay. All right, let's look at the other cards here. We have sextile, opportunity, and the 7th house again, you guys, relating. That is crazy. So for some of you, this toxic relationship, I mean, this isn't a love reading, right? And take what resonates and leave the rest, because this won't apply to everyone. But for some of you, there is a marriage that's really gone sour. It's not fulfilling you. This person does not care at all about any of your needs. And it's time to try and either heal that, open up about that, don't hide the issues that you're having, give it a chance, or it's time to break away. Okay. For some of you, it's actually like a business that you're in, maybe a business partnership with another partner that just, it's not working, is it? And so Spirit's trying to give you the opportunity here. That's what the sextile is all about, to move some things, to open up a door for you, or to open up a window for you to go through that synchronicity. There's going to be some sort of sign or some sort of weird, odd thing that leads you down a path of curiosity. Like, what is that? What's here? I'm feeling pulled towards this, and get you settled. I almost feel like we've got to uproot you. Your roots have got to be planted somewhere else for you to be able to fully bloom, right? A flower can't, or let's say like a rose, for example, it can't bloom in just any soil in any environment. And I feel like you're not giving yourself a chance to bloom. You've got to move those roots, get new soil, okay? Okay, we have the Sanctity card. It says, through offering, even the most mundane problem can be sacraments. That's a very Virgo phrase. You guys do feel very Virgo to me. And when Virgo's in like an unhealthy state of mind, an unhealthy place, it can be a little bit too giving of itself to others, kind of be a martyr for other people and just give, and not stop to ask, like, am I fulfilled? Am I happy? What's the meaning of my life here? And am I doing what I need to make my life feel meaningful? You really need a new community. You've really got to uproot yourself, okay? All right, and then we have the Grace card. It says, I face disagreements with grace and flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. With grace, I'm able to keep my cool, be my best self, and not resort to name calling, even when the crappy poo-poo face is being a douchey barf monster. That's hilarious. I feel like that's relating to this card here, the Devil card. What does this represent for you? This card is about being trapped in a cycle that is a little, it's tempting to stay in for some reason. Something's tempting you to stay, but on the whole, you know it's toxic, you know it's unhealthy, and you're not chained to it by any means. You have the freedom to get up and leave whenever you want. The devil's not going to chase after you. These chains come right off. No, no issue there. So something's keeping you there. There's a temptation, and it's usually always, it's a material temptation. Is it the money? Is it the finances? Is it the little bits of love that you get throughout? Like, what is it? But I feel like, yeah, there's a lot that you're not, you're allowing, you're sacrificing yourself and your needs to an extent that's not healthy. It's time to open up a little bit more. I feel like some of you are like scared to like open that can of worms. It's easier to just do it yourself, to just keep the peace, to just not address it. And part of that's because you don't trust yourself to address it correctly, to address it without exploding, without things getting really messy. But Spirit's urging you to trust in yourself to handle things the correct way. You've got to, yeah. And so maybe once you open up, once you tap into this aspect of grace and open up, maybe these things can transform, and you can make the change that you need so that you can be tapped into this soul tribe, so that this person or these people, these relationships that are currently with you can maybe move with you, can uproot themselves as well and plant themselves somewhere new. But there's definitely like a small community that you're meant to get really involved in, right? That you're meant to know the people and they know you, and you just feel this sense of security and safety, and the relationships that you have, you guys really help each other like a tribe does. You help each other run the errands, do your day-to-day task. You do a favor for them, they do one for you. That's really what you need. I feel like your soul comes from a previous lifetime where you really operated in a legit tribe, okay? You really were in a tribe, a true community where everyone lived in the same house, or, tents right next to one another, and everyone kind of returned these favors, and it was this beautiful cycle of trust and harmony and balance. And it's been hard for you to find in this lifetime. And so Spirit's waiting for you to just kind of make a few changes here, address a few things, and go on this journey and plant yourself. Replant yourself. Give your roots a chance to grow in another pot of soil, all right? And let go of the backstabbers, the toxic relationships that, you know what, they're never going to return the favor. They won't, right? They just won't. And so you've got to seek out the people that you know will, okay? All right, thank you so much for coming to this reading, letting me provide this for you. This pile went way deeper than just a soul tribe. I had to almost get myself back on track because I was thinking, wait, we're talking about job and love life and house location, like, wow. So I would love to hear comments down below about how this applied, what you guys are going through, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's Pick a Card reading. Bye, my love. Hey, group 4, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at who your soul tribe is, where they are, what you can do to get closer to them. So far, all the piles have been extremely different. So I can't wait to see what Spirit has to say about you guys and your soul tribe. Let's start with rolling the die, and then we'll get into the card toppers, the tarot, all that good stuff. Okay, we have Pluto in Libra in the 6th house. Okay, so 6th house kind of rules over our day-to-day responsibilities as well as our work life. I actually think some of you are meant to go into law, legal stuff for work. And so a lot of your soul tribe is kind of there, like maybe a group of lawyers that you work with or something to do with justice and the legal system. And that's kind of where your soul tribe is located. It's in your kind of day-to-day work-life activities, your employer, your employees, your co-workers, the customers you're servicing, that sort of thing. Yeah, it feels like your soul tribe is definitely connected to your purpose in terms of work and career. There's something that you and your group of people are kind of working to transform, or you're helping people find their power or their voice. And so, yeah, it feels like a larger community where there maybe isn't a lot of like deep intimacy going on, like a lot of tear-jerking conversations and intimate details into each other's lives, but you guys show up, you do something with a purpose, you rely on one another, you connect with one another, you give each other advice, but it's in terms of work life, day-to-day life sort of thing. So it does feel like a bit like a larger group in a sense, but all located in the same place. Okay, now let's look at the card toppers you all gravitated towards, which were awakening and renewal. So these cards are supposed to represent what you're lacking in your life that you feel your soul tribe could offer you, at least at a soul level. Your soul is craving awakening and renewal through friendships, through a soul tribe. For some of you, you're actually going to meet your soul tribe through a dark experience in life that connects you to these people. So like, for example, some of you are going to be a part of like some sort of class action lawsuit or a lawsuit against somebody maybe that's wronged a lot of people. And you are kind of a group of victims in this situation. So you come together as victims to report this person, to sue this person, to get this person to justice, right? And you guys become very close in that whole dynamic. Some of you are meant to, like, maybe it's through like Alcoholics Anonymous or through a divorce like support group of some sort, a grieving support group, or some sort of support group type setting that now you guys connect through this community, but it's through, or maybe it's like a single parent support group or community, something like that, where it's like a darker experience that's transformed you in some way. You're getting help in a sense for that, and seeking out that help brings you in touch with a community of people. Okay, so this community, your soul tribe, provides you with this sense of awakening and renewal, just like what Pluto represents. They help you awaken to your highest self. They help you cleanse the impurities from your life, and you do the same for them in a sense. It's like you guys are doing it for each other. So this is like it's like these people help transform or sharpen your soul in a spiritual sense through the work that you guys are doing, whether it be work that you're doing for others, like if it was like a group of lawyers working through the legal system, or whether it's the work that you're doing on your own self. But this feels like your soul tribe isn't necessarily people that you bring home. It's almost like there's a meeting place, whether that be work or AA or the Single Moms Club, or what. I know there's a lot more ideas than what I have in my head, but it's like there's a meeting place and you go there without your spouse, without your partner, without your kids. It's something that's like, I drive to this place and my soul tribe's there, and we connect, every Monday at 7 p.m. and we help give each other awakening, renewal, insight. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because there's a lot more ways that it could apply than what I've just said. But so there is a sense of, you do have a sense of intimacy with them, right? You guys are opening up, sharing things, getting advice from one another, but there's not intimacy in a sense that, these people, we meet up on the weekends, or we go out for drinks, or we spend holidays together, or things like that. It's almost like you have to keep your soul tribe becomes separate from your day-to-day life. Your soul tribe doesn't necessarily get in contact physically with your partner, your kids, your pet, your home. Okay. So for some of you, it could be an online sort of thing, an online community, um, uh, or yeah, just some sort, or work, or yeah. Okay, let's get into the rest of the cards and maybe I'll get more details on that. Yeah, so we have the helping overcome obstacles card. Yeah, fits in perfectly. So you meet your soul tribe is somehow connected to a sense of loss. Like, I have lost this, I've got to transform this, I've got to become the phoenix rising up through the ashes, and I need that group of supporters. But your soul tribe are people who have gone through the exact same thing. Okay, so it's a similar type of loss that aligns you both, or not you both, all together. You guys experience something difficult, and you all share that in common. And that's the thread that binds you all together. That's what makes your souls feel like mates to one another. Like, oh, this person, these people truly get me. They can really empathize with me because they've been through it too. Okay, so that's your soul tribe. It's people that you connect to through loss, through difficulties, that they've been through the same thing. So it's like they truly see you in that way, in a way that no one else in your life can or ever will understand. You know, for some of you, it could be like an adoption sort of community. Maybe some of you were adopted from a young age. And so no one in your family has experienced what that feels like to not truly know, like your biological parents, or just the struggles of that experience. You know, no one else gets it. So it's like your soul tribe does, because they're also people who were adopted. They get that struggle. So that's just another little example. But yeah, they help you overcome obstacles. You help them overcome obstacles, and you guys are going through the exact same obstacles. And that's what binds you together. Okay, let's look at the tarot. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is earth energy. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. We have the Page of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, which Gemini already came up in the die. We have the Hermit. This is more Virgo energy. Beautiful. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, more earth energy. Yeah, okay, lots of earth energy here. Very practical, very much about actual things going on in life. So the Hermit here, the Hermit is about soul searching. It's about searching your soul for wisdom, for truth, for meaning. And it's a journey that you take on your own. You know, no one else can search your soul except for you. You've ultimately got to decide what you're finding in there and what it means, right? But it feels like your soul tribe helps facilitate this soul searching going on within, helps you find and see like the stars that are there, helps you light your lantern so that you finally feel like, okay, the path's not so dark. I've got a little light here to help guide the way. And financially too, it feels like your soul tribe is connected through finances, whether it be through work or some sort of financial struggle. They really do feel like practical teammates that you have. Okay, so it's like you guys talk a lot about, well, I'm trying to make plans for this, or my goal is to do this, or save up enough money for this, or make changes here, like very practical sort of things. It's like you guys are helping each other. I almost see like interlocking here, where it's like, we are going to do this together. I'm going to help motivate you. You're going to help motivate me. We're going to upgrade our lives in a sense. We're going to heal these issues. We're going to fix these things. We're going to talk it out. I do feel a lot of talking going on, but it's very balanced. Like, you're talking as much as they are. Okay, so the communication feels very balanced. It doesn't feel like there is like a leader of the group. You know, this soul tribe feels like everyone's an equal here, an equal player, takes on an equal role. And we're all here to just help us overcome these different obstacles in life and these experiences that only we understand because we've been through it. And no one else in our life gets this. So that's why we come together every week or every month, or even every day maybe, to help work through these struggles. Okay, let's look at the other oracles over here. Okay, we have the opposition card. It says balance. And we have the Capricorn card, which says the boss. It's interesting the opposition card came up because Libra, which came up in the die, represents our opposite, and it represents balance. That's what Libra is all about, balancing the scales of justice, making sure things are fair, equal, that people get what they deserve, earn what they deserve, right? So, yeah, I'm getting a lot of vibes, I'll be honest, a lot of vibes about people who are in the legal system somehow, or maybe even going through divorce, for example. That won't apply to all of you, of course. I know not all of you are married. Some of you are very happily married. But for a lot of you, that's kind of the case. And I do feel a lot of feminine energy as well from this pile. It does feel very feminine. And with Capricorn, the boss here, I feel like some of you may actually be like involved. This may be some sort of like political or social group, okay, that connects you to others in a sense. So maybe it's a community of people that are fighting for justice in a particular area for a particular group of people, whether it be like feminists or, BLM, these sort of political things that unite like a group of people who are suffering. That could be, for some of you, how this connection happens, where your soul tribe is. But yeah, it's through a struggle. It's a struggle that connects you to your soul tribe, something you were born with that ostracizes you or causes you to be discriminated against, or just a painful experience that it's like, this is so unique. I need someone I can relate to. I've got to find people who have been through this with me. So you may locate some of these people actually online and get connected to them in that way. And then it starts, and then you start texting this person or you Snapchat this group, something like that fosters communication between everyone. All right, we have expansiveness. It says eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. I like that coming up with Capricorn because it's kind of an opposite message, just like the opposition talks about. Yeah, it's interesting because this awakening and renewal that you receive through your soul tribe comes from this. It's interesting because the struggle you're experiencing that binds you to these people is a struggle of the ego. Whether it's, for example, something you were born with that causes you to be discriminated against, that's because you have a body that physically shows this, right? For like at a soul level, we all look exactly the same, right? The soul doesn't have color, it doesn't have form. It's our bodies, our ego, that gives us color and form and physical characteristics and traits and things that could not cause others to discriminate against us, because of course we aren't the cause of that. But things people observe that they can now judge and discriminate against, right? Or even physical experiences we have in the material realm that cause us to be discriminated against or judged or mistreated, right? So it's like the pain of your soul tribe starts at the level of the ego, because these are experiences of the ego. But through your friendship with them, through your work that you do with them, through your connection with your soul tribe, you guys allow each other to almost forget the ego. It's a true soul connection where it's like we're now understanding that above all of this, if we go a little bit higher, everything's connected and everything's okay. I know I'm talking these are things that you guys are going to realize with your soul tribe through a long journey with them, right? But that's how it brings you to this sort of transformation of inner peace. Yes, we do have the earthly world. We do have material things that really affect us. I do have a body that people can look at and can judge for the way it looks, the way it appears to others. But beneath all of that, or above all of that, is the spiritual realm, the soul. For some of you, this is a spiritual community that connects you. A church, a religion that you start to follow during a time of hardship. And so you guys literally connect to spirit when you meet. But this is important for you. This is deeply important for you to get in touch with this soul tribe. Now, for some of you, you haven't yet experienced this obstacle that's going to come your way and make you feel like, I've got to find someone that gets me, that understands me. And it could be anything, okay? Not even just the little things that I have named. Nothing that you won't overcome, okay? I'll put it that way. This is nothing that you need to be in fear of or worried about, because it's there for a purpose. It's there to actually bring you in contact with this soul tribe. Had you not had that obstacle to overcome, you would have never been motivated or curious enough to seek out this group of people. And you are meant to connect with them because they bring you in touch with your highest self, the highest version of you. So I want you to look back on that obstacle if you've already experienced it and truly find gratefulness for it. Find the meaning, find the purpose in it. It was there for a reason. You were about to tap into your awakening, your renewal, and get in touch with the highest version of you. And not only that, but to truly connect and find intimacy with a group of people who get it. They know what you've been through. They get you on a level that no one else in your life can, right? And that's a reason to be grateful. Okay, we have the commitment card. It says, I willingly accept that it's safe to topple my walls and commit completely to a relationship. It might be one that's already here or one that's on the way. Either way, those walls have got to go. Without them, I can go further, feel freer, and love bigger than ever before. Bonus, no walls means I'll save a lot of money on picture frames. You know what's interesting, what I'm seeing from this? The walls and the house coming out. The house to me is represented by the body, by the ego. And the person inside, what I'm seeing is the soul. Connecting to someone based on their soul and not through their ego, their body, their appearance. That's what this soul tribe is going to do for you, whether it's through spiritual work, a religion, or spiritual belief that connects you, but something's going to cause you to somehow forget that you're not just this body. That's not all you are. I see healing that needs to happen, definitely, but at the end of all of this, it's like you truly release all the labels that you have of yourself that are based on the culture, the background, the physical traits, the deficiencies, or I don't know, even just all of it. It's like you're just going to let all of that go and connect to your soul tribe truly through their souls. Wow. This pile really took me on a full journey. It really did. We started off so far away from where we ended up. We've gone down like a whole long road here. But I'm happy for you, because what's cool for you guys specifically is it seems like this soul tribe is a big part of your life purpose. It was very intentional, and you created the life that you created to come in contact with this soul tribe and to experience this awakening and this renewal that your soul is craving. So buckle up and get ready for the ride and the blessings and the gratitude you're going to have on the other side of this. Okay, you're ready for this. You are ready. Okay, thank you so much for coming. I look forward to seeing you in next week's reading. Leave any suggestions for readings down below. I love taking a look at those and adding them to my little list on my computer for topics I want to cover. But I will leave you here. Love you guys. Bye. Hey Pile 5, welcome to your reading. I can't wait to learn more about your soul tribe, where they are, when you're going to meet them, how you can get closer to meeting them, and what Spirit wants to say to you about your soul tribe. So let's actually start by taking a roll of the die, and then we'll look at the card toppers and get into the tarot and the oracle. Oh, that one just wanted to come right out. Okay, we had Aquarius come out first. We've got Pluto in Aquarius in the 5th house. I like this. Okay, first of all, Aquarius is the sign of our friendship groups. Okay, so that's perfect for this reading. The 5th house is the sign of fun and parties and play, and it's kind of like that Leo sort of energy. So it's just fun and pleasure and risk taking, and what a perfect combination for this reading. Aquarius in the 5th house. Now Pluto is here, which is all about complete transformation. So death and rebirth and finding your empowerment once again, finding where your inner power is. It's a very potent sort of planet. So it feels like your friendship group. It's funny because I think most people looking on the outside in, or I guess not friendship group, your soul tribe, right? Outside looking in, people would think, oh, this just looks like, a friendship group, a soul tribe that's all about, fun and games and joy and vacations and parties and that sort of thing. But what's going on within that soul tribe is really something deeper and more transformative. That you don't get to see unless you're a part of the soul tribe. I do see here with Pluto that with your soul tribe, they're the type of people that when they love someone, they protect them completely from the outside world. So with one another, they'll get really vulnerable. They'll share secrets with one another. They'll expose things between each other. But to the outside world, no one's ever going to see that. They will protect and guard that part of their relationship. They will never expose a friend of theirs, a member of the soul tribe, They will also, I mean, it's the type of energy of, you know how like in movies and TV, there'll be like the older brother and the younger brother, and the older brother's always picking on the younger brother, being mean to him. But then when they go to school, maybe a bully comes to mess with the younger brother and not do anything worse than what the older brother typically does. But the older brother sees and he steps in. He's like, no one messes with my little brother but me. Okay. That's kind of the energy here. It's like, they'll be heat, you know, it's like the emotions are free in this soul tribe. So you see the lightest parts of one another and the darkest parts of one another. Like it's not all fun and games all the time. It's not all happy, because in true intimacy, sometimes things get rough. Sometimes there's misunderstanding. Sometimes there's fights and arguments. But when there's true love there, it's like you just know that that person's not going to turn their back on you. They're not going to go gossip about you to other people. Okay, so this is an intense sort of energy coming off of the die. This feels very intimate, very intense, but a lot of wild, crazy moments. Like this group of friends, this soul tribe, it just seems like, I don't know, like this group of hippies or rock stars or, you know, like gangsters or, you know, something where it looks very glamorous from the outside looking in. Glamorous, but maybe a bit dangerous or edgy or fun or exciting. That's what people see looking in. The people in the group see the true family unit, the bond that's going on in there. So I like this. This is really cool, really interesting. Not anything I expected coming up in the pile. So let's take a look at the card toppers you all gravitated towards, which were comfort and honesty. So when these cards came out, I used these in the reading to have Spirit answer for me, what was it that your soul was most longing for? What does it feel it's lacking that it thinks it can receive from a soul tribe? Like this is the reason why it's craving a soul tribe. And for you, it's for the reasons of comfort and for honesty. So comfort is a word that I associate with like family time, you know, like our comfort food, our comfort place. These are things that I associate with the home, right? And so your soul's really wanting, I think more than just a soul tribe, your soul's wanting a place where it feels like it has a home, has a family. It feels like for you, your soul tribe is supposed to be your chosen family in a sense. And that's not to say that you guys aren't close with your family of origin, but I just get this feeling that maybe you're not super close, or maybe even if you're close and you see your family regularly, there's not that feeling of belonging there. Maybe you feel a little bit like the black sheep, feel a little bit left out. And so you need your soul tribe to help give you that sense of belonging and that sense of home. And not only that, but we have honesty here. It feels like a lot of you come from a family that may be really, like maybe very studious or very well educated or very traditional and conservative, like structured, but maybe a little bit superficial, a bit false, like the type of family where you're taught not to address or talk about your emotions. So it's almost like if something bothers you, you're just supposed to keep hush about it, not talk about it. So you can't really get honesty from anyone. You never know if someone's pretending to be okay or if they actually are okay. Like you can't get a read on anyone because everyone's taught not to self-express. So that's another thing you're craving. Like you're almost, it's funny because I even get a sense that in your family, you may have not been called out for all the things that you were supposed to be called out for. Not that there was a lot, not that you were a bad kid, but I almost feel that a part of your soul is like begging for someone to call you out because to you that shows love. Like I want someone to care enough about me that they call me out on my bullshit, that they want to be honest, that they want to help make me a better person, that they see potential in me. And so they're going to try and they're going to say what needs to be said. And I don't feel like you got that from your family. And there's a part of you that's craving for that. And that's what I love about the die here, because I see that in your soul tribe, that's exactly what you're going to get. Blunt honesty and a deep level of intimacy to the point that there's no fear in saying what needs to be said. People embrace each other's emotions and embrace the highs and the lows and everything that comes with it. So this is a fun group. I really, really like this. Let's get more into the reading and we'll get some more details on your soul tribe. Okay, so we have the facilitating change card. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you remember even just some of the groups I mentioned. They're quite the change makers. They're quite on the fringes of society or a little bit out there, a little bit wild. You know, the rebels of society. That's definitely the vibe that I get from your group, and this is kind of what your soul tribe's mantra or code to live by is. Like, we don't want to follow the rules. We want to change the rules. We want to break the taboos. We want to decide what's right for us, not society, not other people. So with this soul tribe, there could be some, I feel like there's definitely very like open-minded people. People in your soul tribe are very anti-tradition. You know, they are focused on pleasure, fun, excitement, and kind of pushing their own boundaries. So you'll get a lot of interesting experiences with this soul tribe. I'll say that, okay? All right, let's look at the tarot. Okay, we have the Hanged Man, the Four of Cups, the Emperor. This is Aries energy. The Hanged Man is water energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Wow, and then we have the Death card, Scorpio energy, which I was going to mention. I was feeling that from the die. With Aries and Scorpio energy here, Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by the planet Mars, which is very energetic, very aggressive, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to get it my way. It's a very sexual energy as well. Mars is like a high stamina, high energy, high drive. So yeah, the Death card also represents death and transformation. It represents maturity. Now, I'm going to be honest. I feel like your soul tribe is not a tribe that's meant to last for the entirety of your lifetime. Or even if it lasts, it feels like you, at some point in your life, are going to feel ready to pull away. And it will be after this transformative moment. This soul tribe for you is going to be so crucial in helping you get in touch with your emotions, understand what love truly is, what trust really is, what emotional balance and emotional maturity really means. Like, it's going to help you get in touch with kind of the spice of life and the idea of, you know what, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do things the way my parents said, the way society says. Like, I can actually carve my own path. I actually have all the options available to me. But because of the way you were raised, you were blocked from that sort of thinking, which is why Spirit wanted to, for some of you, I'm actually touching on something in your past, or wants to bring you in contact with this soul tribe of yours to help awaken the spirit within you, okay, to bring you to this transformation, this level of maturity. I do see a lot of wild nights with your soul tribe, not going to lie, a lot of crazy stories to tell, a lot of laughter, a lot of entanglements. You know, I see lots of people kind of like living with one another and couch surfing, and moments of kind of like, oh, I'm kind of having a hard time with work or catching a job. Can I stay with you? And vice versa. Like, a lot of entanglements, okay, between one another. There's a lot of like relying on one another through all of this. And I do feel the energy coming off the cards is like a younger sort of energy. This feels like something that occurs in, you know, late teens, early 20s, that type of thing. And then it kind of breaks away when you reach this certain stage of maturity, a stage of maturity in which you want to have a little bit more control over your own life, and you've got some goals that you want to accomplish. You've got a different direction you want to steer things in, okay? That's when you're going to kind of detach. I don't see like a negative ending here. It's just more of a natural maturing. Like, I don't think I'm going to go out again, or I think I'm going to move. You know, it feels gentle the way it ends. No one's on bad terms here, but yeah, it feels like that's kind of what happens. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in this card. It's kind of lots of wild nights, lots of drinking, and at some point it's just going to be like, none of these experiences with my soul tribe feel new anymore. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of these experiences anymore. It feels a little tiring, a little mundane at this point. And that's when you'll know, okay? Because before you reach that point, it's like each experience with this group of people is exciting. You learn something from it. You're gaining something from it, even if it just looks crazy and frivolous and rebellious and reckless from the outside. You internally are going through a lot of growth. And you'll know when you've reached that level of maturity, because it's like you'll all of a sudden feel like, I don't feel satisfied. Like, I don't feel like I want to do this anymore, type of thing. Okay. So, wow. I would love to know some of you guys' stories. That's for sure. For some of you, I feel like this is something you've already experienced. This is your true soul tribe. Okay. So if those of you know what group of friends I'm talking about, and you're thinking, well, gosh, that was 5 years ago. That was when I was way younger. So do I not have a soul tribe anymore? I will say this, you're not going to have that intense, entangled sort of connection with a group of people quite like that ever again. You really won't. So really appreciate that experience you had, because it's not something that everyone gets to experience. That type of, it almost feels like, well, maybe you guys don't know what this feels like, but when I was little, my parents would put us into vacation Bible school or like church camps during the summer, because my dad was a pastor, so that was like always a thing. And at the camps, it would be like, we'd always go with like a small church. So there'd maybe be like 30 kids total, there for the whole week. And they'd always have games and crazy fun stuff for us to do. But the little cabin or whatever that we would stay in, is what it usually was, it started to feel like its own little world. Like there was nothing else outside of that little cabin and that group of kids and our crazy fun experiences. It's crazy how quickly it started to feel kind of like family, if that makes sense. Like the bonds get close and deep really fast because you're sharing every meal with this group of people. You're sharing every game, lots of laughs, lots of tears, because a lot of times we would be doing like praise and worship, and they'd go like, praise and worship sometimes could last like a couple hours, and you'd have kids who were just so intense in worship, they'd be crying, and then other little kids would come up and comfort them. And I don't know how to explain it, but there's a special sort of feeling that comes along with that type of experience, and that's what I feel you have, that same feeling that I had when I would go to church camp with the kids around me, that closeness. That's really special and really unique. And I don't think you're going to get anything quite like that again, but Spirit's wanting to tell you this because they want you to realize that the standards in terms of like intimacy that group set for you, I mean, it's so high. It's so high and it's intense. And you don't need that anymore at the stage of life you're in and going into. You need something a little looser, a little more free, a little less entangled, a little less intense, okay? So Spirit's wanting you to know that, because I do feel like you have some good relationships around you currently, but there's always kind of this comparison of, I really like this person or I like this group of people, but why does it not feel like back in the day with my high school friends or with my college friends? Why doesn't it feel quite the same? And Spirit's saying that this is why. It's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. All right. You're at a different stage in life now. Okay. Let's look at some of the other cards. Yep. We've got Uranus. That's so fitting. It says revolution, breakthroughs, originality, awakening, technology, innovation, reform, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, diversity, lightning. That is so your soul tribe. So your soul tribe. You know what this kind of makes me think of? Have you guys seen the movie Now and Then? Yeah, that's what it's called. I think it came out in the early 90s or late 80s. And me and my daughter actually watched it together a few months ago because it's one of my favorites. And it reminds me, like, it's the same sort of energy. It's such a good movie. Watch it. It's got a great cast. But it follows this group of women. Okay, they're all grown now, and none of them have connected or seen each other in like 10 years or no, maybe even longer, because they all grew up in a small town together. So they went to elementary school and high school. Once they graduated, everyone went off on their separate paths, and they just lost touch. This is back before cell phones, social media, So the movie kind of keeps hopping back and forth, showing like experiences that they had when they were 9, 10, 11 years old, and then kind of how it is in the future now. And at the end, they kind of get to like meet up again and hang out. And I think you guys would really like that movie. I feel like you would really connect with it and understand it. So rent that this weekend. It's a great movie to watch. Okay, let's look here. Okay, we have loss. It says, sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. For some of you with Uranus, the Lost card, and the Death card, there could have been a death in your group of friends that kind of shook everyone awake and made them think, oh, wow, what has happened? How can we go on having fun? How can we, or maybe I got to get out of this or something. I think for some of you, more than one of you, there was some sort of sudden shock, a loss, either a death or maybe something illegal that was going on. Yeah. If that was the case for you, for those of you who had to lose a friend in the midst of all of this intense energy before you could mature, Spirit's wanting you to let go of any, I don't want to say the word guilt, but part of me does. Any sort of guilt, yeah, or shame or responsibility that you've placed on yourself due to maybe how you reacted to that situation, how you handled it, how you coped, what steps you chose to take. You know, some of you, I feel, may have cut yourself off from the group very quickly, just without warning, without really saying anything, you know, without explanation. And maybe you're kind of caught up in guilt over that. Or maybe some of you felt you could have done more. Who knows? But Spirit's wanting you to let go of those sorts of feelings and emotions that don't serve you, and just allow yourself to really grieve. And most importantly, Spirit's wanting you to allow yourself to feel the love that really surrounded you through that person, through these crazy connected experiences that you had with this group, or that you will have. I feel like I'm talking in the past to most of you, to be honest. Spirit's not wanting you to look back on this in a way that leaves you bitter or regretful or disappointed, okay? Spirit's really wanting you to be able to look back on your soul tribe with appreciation for the good experiences that you had, the impact that this soul tribe had on your development as a person. And I feel like a lot of you actually have some crying to do over all of this. Even those of you who didn't lose someone to death in the process. You've kind of hardened yourself to it, or maybe you're just the type that doesn't like to get real feely with things. Allow yourself to feel that. This is, I would love to sit down and just talk to you guys, or have you guys talk to me and just tell me some of, you know, the interesting stories and the beautiful moments that you went through with these people, even if there were negative ones. I know there were negative ones too mixed in with all of this. It's kind of almost like a crazy family, you know. The closest families are always a little bit crazy, right? They've got the dramatic moments, the highs and the lows, but it's still beautiful in its own way. There's still pieces of it that are beautiful to look at and to experience. Okay, and we have the compassion card. Yeah, it says, I choose compassion over criticism. Walking a mile in other people's shoes reminds me they might be going through something tougher than I think, like their shoes are too tight. Or they're the kind of shoes that are too casual to be dressy, or too dressy to be casual. Basically, I have no idea what they're dealing with privately. So I'll cut them some slack and be thankful for the shoes I've been dealt. Yeah, I feel like that sums up everything better than I could, right? I do think for some of you, there's a sense of bitterness on, you know, maybe you look back and think, oh, that was so immature. That was so reckless. Why can't they better themselves in this way? Why can't they become like this? Or especially with a lot of the people that you feel like you had to walk away from, because I do felt like you got to a point where you really felt that you were at a different level of maturity than everyone else in the group, where it's like, oh, I've outgrown everyone. And maybe there's this sense of anger with why couldn't you guys grow with me? You know, why did I have to leave? Why couldn't you have grown with me? And I do sympathize with you, you know, for that. I understand that that was tough, but at the same time, I also see that it was kind of all a part of your plan specifically for you to have this beautiful soul tribe, this crazy, beautiful soul tribe, and mature, and then go out on your own, strike out on your own, and do your own thing. And that's what I feel like you're doing right now. Okay, so I want to congratulate you for the intense growth that you've gone through in your lifetime, coming from the family that you did, to the little soul tribe that you did, to where you are now. I'm really impressed. Just looking at I get images in my head of different things, the feelings, the cards. Kudos to you. You guys are on the right track. You're on the right path. You're doing awesome, okay? And you've got people out there. You've got friends waiting to be, you know, who want to make friends with you. You've got people out there you haven't even met that want to meet you, that want to be friends with you. But just keep in mind, nothing will ever be as crazy intense, but isn't that good in some senses too? You know, at the age you are right now, at the stage in life you are right now, even though part of you like misses that deep, intense connection, the other part of you also knows what the negative things that have to come along with it to deal with that. And you know that you're not at the stage in your life for that, are you? So yeah, you'll be good. You are a very likable, attractive, magnetic, interesting sort of person. You've got people all around you waiting to connect with you, make friends, and make new memories, okay? I will leave you guys here. I want to thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's Pick a Card reading. Bye, my lovely. Hey group 6, how you guys doing? I can't wait to get into your reading and learn more about your soul tribe, who they are, where they're at, when you'll meet them, how you can meet them. So let's get into this. I'm going to start with rolling the die. All right, we have Jupiter in Gemini in the 7th house. Jupiter's all about expansion, spontaneity, positivity, fun, travel. I love that energy for you guys. Gemini is a very open-minded energy. It likes to shift ideas. It likes to see all sides. It's very curious, a very lighthearted, playful sort of energy as well. And then the 7th house is about well, it's about marriage and business partnerships, but also about our one-on-one sort of relationships. I actually feel from this group that you don't have a soul tribe, okay? Don't be disappointed. I actually feel like you have a platonic soul mate, like a soul sister or a soul brother, if that's a term. Someone who, just one singular person that is a true friend for life, that you should kind of like Oprah and Gail, okay? That's the type of relationship I see that's meant for you. Not a tribe of people. That's kind of too much for you. It feels like that would overwhelm your energy, take up too much time. You need that one special person outside of your romantic relationship or your marriage that's like your person, your best friend of all time until death do you part type of thing. So let's take a look at the card toppers you all gravitated towards. And we have rest, communication, and positivity. And what's funny is communication is associated with Gemini, which came up in the die, and positivity associated with Jupiter, which also came up in the die. So these cards are supposed to represent what your soul feels it is lacking and that it could gain through a soul tribe, or in your case, a platonic soul mate or soul friend, soul sister, soul brother type thing. So for you, it's rest, communication, and positivity. You really need someone that can help you just kind of disconnect, relax, get some peace. Like you really want drama free in your life. You want someone that you click with on such a deep level, almost like they feel like a twin to you. Gemini is ruled by the twins. So like very like-minded, like where you can almost just sit in silence, you know, and not be paranoid or worried about, oh, should I come up with something to talk about? Like that type of deep connection and friendship. Communication, you want someone that you can talk to, that you can vent to, that you can get your thoughts out with, someone where communication feels very easy and uncomplicated, and positivity, someone that brings nothing but joy to your life. You know, you guys feel like you've reached a point in your life where you're like, I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for anything that's going to drag me down, waste my energy. Like I can't do it, you know? So that's really what you're craving, and that's what I see that you have out there for you, if not already. There is like a particular friendship that that's going to mean a lot to you and impact your life in a deep way, and it's going to make your soul feel at ease, okay? Let's look at the calling card. All right, we have getting participation. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I'm going to call them your soulmate, but not romantically, okay? I'm talking about a friendship. Is someone who is really good about getting you to participate and interact with life, with the world around you. There's someone that makes you laugh very easily, like you guys' sense of humor just really clicks with one another. They're a little bit more energetic than you. So, and they're kind of the idea person, okay? They kind of lead the friendship in a sense. You know, they're the ones that are coming over and saying, hey, did you see there's a concert in town on Saturday? We should go. Or, hey, there's a 5K marathon I've always wanted to do. Do you want to sign up with me? So they're getting you to kind of, or let's go do karaoke night. They're the ones getting you to participate with life a little bit more, which I love for you, because I do see that you're someone who can get tired very easily, or just feel kind of dull when it comes to, I don't know what to do today. I'm bored. I'm this. But when you're with this person, it's like all that goes away. They're just like a light in your life. Jupiter, which came up here in the die, it often represents someone who is a guiding force in our life, someone who instills wisdom and positivity, someone who expands our life, brings us to new horizons, is spontaneous with us. That's kind of how your soulmate is, okay? So you don't got a soul tribe, you got a soul mate, which I think is even more unique, more special. It's more intimate. Let's look at the tarot. Okay, we have Page of Wands. This is fire energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Judgment card. We have the World. This is Saturn energy, goes well with Jupiter. And we have the Six of Swords. Okay, now that I've got all the cards laid out in front of me, I'm getting two different groups. Some of you, yes, this is a platonic friendship type of soulmate. For others of you, it's actually your romantic partner, your spouse, your soulmate, that's going to fulfill the desires that you may have when you think of like a soul tribe, okay? Your soulmate and the family that you create, the children that you have with them, the pets you have with them, the life you have with them is going to be so deeply fulfilling that you don't even have an urge for, I don't know, like finding a soul tribe. That's not to say you're going to isolate yourself. No, but it's like you're not going to feel like you're missing a special connection with someone else out there, okay? You guys will have friends, of course you're going to have people in your life, but whatever brought you to this reading that made you think like, oh, I wish I had a soul tribe, like something's just missing. For some reason, with you guys in particular, your soulmates, once you meet them, like that sort of need and desire is just kind of wash away. You're going to feel very complete, very emotionally at peace. For others of you, this is like a platonic friendship. But for all of you, it's like a singular person, okay? This person could actually, with Jupiter here, the Page of Wands and the World, it's likely this person is a foreigner to you or from a foreign background or culture than yours, maybe a different race, maybe just a different state, but just there's some sort of big difference between the two of you that is really complementary. The two of you are very complementary to one another. And that's another way in which this person of yours really expands your view of the world, like opens your horizons about how you view the world, how you view society, how you view language and cultures and people. Just, I don't know, they bring a freedom to your mind, okay? They get your curiosity piqued. I feel like you guys have lots of conversations where you're asking each other different questions. What was that experience like? You traveled to where? You did what? How was it growing up in your house? Like lots of just real personal sort of conversations, getting to know one another that really like expands your view of the world. I do also see that you guys are going to move obviously if we're talking about a romantic partner, of course you're going to move in together, but even those of you in which this is like a friend, you guys will live together for a while, at least while you guys are single. And then for all of you, I even see you guys even relocating together. Obviously, if you're married, of course, if you guys are married, I do see you guys relocating to maybe your partner's home country or to a different city or state than either of you have grown up in, for example, like getting away from everything you guys have known. And for those of you in which this is a soulmate type friend, I see you guys like actually moving somewhere, like maybe you guys have always had dreams about, oh, I want to see what California is like, or let's go live in Vegas, we can only do it once. So you guys up and move out of state together. So lots of great adventures with your partner, with your soulmates, okay, whether it be platonic or romantic. So they're almost like another half to you. I almost want to use the word twin flame. I know that's kind of a controversial word, and I'm not sure how I feel entirely about that subject, and everyone feels a different way. But the concept of a twin flame is that it's like two souls that are cut from the same cloth, in a sense. So they mirror each other, or like twins, right? You know how identical twins are like so much alike. It's like two souls cut from the same cloth. That's how I feel about your person. You don't need a whole tribe, okay? Believe me, you don't need it. You just need this other half to you, this complement to you. It's going to really transform you as a person, bring in new experiences, education, intelligence. It'll help round you out as a person, this relationship will, and bring you a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Okay, let's look at the other cards. Okay, we have a second house of assets. Aries, the radical. That could actually represent this feels like the energy of your soulmate, your platonic or romantic soulmate. Very Aries. It says active, self-starting, daring, fierce, assertive, exhilarating, sparky, courageous, impulsive, competitive. They feel very energetic here. With second house of assets, it also looks like your soulmate will also somehow have an effect on what you do for a living or your financial situation, like assistance. The money could be quite entangled where it like all goes into one pot. Even if it's a friendship thing, it's almost like maybe you guys have a joint bank account and everything's just shared and you guys help, you can borrow some of my money this week and then let me borrow some of yours a couple weeks from now. But they also seem to somehow inspire or motivate you towards what you decide to do for a living, your choice of income. They help bring stability into your life. They help bring stability, pleasure, luxury, like good quality things. They help kind of upgrade you a little bit, or you feel upgraded because of your relationship with them, for sure. And yeah, I'm definitely getting strong Aries and Sagittarius vibes from your person. All right, we have karma. It says there's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. Okay, this is giving me more twin flame energy now. Okay, so I feel like Spirit's bringing up this card because this relationship, although it's going to be deeply fulfilling for you, it looks like there is some karma from previous lifetimes that's meant to be worked out in this one. So there are going to be, some rocky moments, some difficult times, but Spirit's wanting you to remain committed to this relationship. You two do deeply care for one another and you are meant to be together. So any struggles or misunderstandings that are had, it's worth working through, and just remind yourself that this is all karma, balancing the scales. This is you guys as souls developing, working through some things, becoming stronger as individuals, really sharpening one another's souls, pulling out that shadow work and working through it. Okay, so that's important for you guys to know as well, because I feel like some of you, maybe it's been more difficult recently and you're like, screw this, like I'm sick of only having like this one person and blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like you came to this reading for that, like hoping that there's just someone else out there or some other tribe out there that can provide you with this sort of friendship. And Spirit's like, no, this is what you signed up for. And keep in mind, I don't see anything abusive going on here, okay? I don't. I'm feeling like this is more like tense misunderstandings, headbutting, but I don't see that you guys mistreat each other at all. I see a deep amount of love and respect. Okay, but the more intimate things get, the more complicated and entangled things get. And there's bound to be rough patches and things here and there. But I'm seeing with the karma card that it's worth working through. And this goes back farther than you think it does. There's bigger things at work that are being healed and worked out. So try and take that approach. Try and look at the big picture of things. Try and self-analyze and be willing to take a look at your own shadow as well so that you can maintain this, because it is worth it. I know we had the rest card come up. I know that you don't want drama in your life anymore. You are way past that, right? So I get that you're feeling exhausted, but I don't see that this is a forever thing. You're not at the end of the road yet with this. There can be a rebirth, there can be transformation, maturity, wisdom gained, okay? Of course, you guys are free to do it's a general reading, right? So I know I'm talking to several different people here at once, and everyone's situation is different to the other. So it's ultimately up to you what you decide. But I'm seeing that there's hope here, okay? And I'm seeing that this is supposed to be like till death do us part, friendship or relationship, okay? All right, let's look at the affirmators card. We have self-worth. I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a totally kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they think and feel what they feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing what I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I already know, I think. So basically just owning up your self-worth, tending to your insecurities, building up your confidence, and no longer feeling a deep need to explain yourself or defend yourself. Because sometimes that can cause more issues, That's us trying to maintain control over a relationship. we may get overly preoccupied with, I don't want them to dislike me or think that what I'm doing is selfish, or like, I don't think what I'm doing is wrong, and I need them to also not think that what I'm doing is wrong. So I'm going to keep following them around until I can convince them that, hey, this is why I'm not wrong. This is why I'm not wrong. Look, do you believe me now? This is why I'm not wrong. Which is only going to irritate the other person because maybe they think you're wrong, you know? So it can cause more, it can cause like an ego clashing, right? When in reality, it's like, okay, if we're not seeing eye to eye, I don't think I did anything wrong. They clearly think I did. Okay, fine. If they want to think I was wrong, fine. You know, it's not a battle worth fighting. I need to just let them feel how they want to feel. You know, let other people have their emotions. When we're able to do that, it really shows that we're getting stronger in terms of our self-worth, which is what the second house is all about, self-worth, as well as, you know, money, net worth. So I feel like that's just a tip coming from Spirit to help you as you move your life forward. Especially in terms of, oh, I'm sick of the drama, you know, I can't take the headbutting, the ego clashing anymore, like I just need restful relationships. I feel like Spirit brought in that card just as like a helpful tip, like, hey, maybe you want to take a look at this and see if this is a trigger for you, because, you know, we think that if you can kind of address this and tend to it, it will actually alleviate a lot of, you know, the frustrations that you've been having. So best of luck to you guys. Beautiful, beautiful relationship that came through. Not a soul tribe, no, but one individual person who is meant to be fully dedicated to you and you to them, committed, loyal. And that's so, so meaningful, right? That's so important to have. You guys are lucky, okay? I'd love to know if you know this person, okay? If you know who I'm talking about, or if this is someone waiting for you in your future. But I will leave you guys here. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you in next week's Pick a Card reading. Bye, my loves.